Here we go.
In 5, 4, 3.
Call to me, lands far away.
Elves have forests to protect.
We need to build a wall.
Dwarfs their mines. Men their fields of grain. But we Harfoots have each other.
For I must now wander this wandering day.
We're safe.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel.
No.
Put up your sword.
The enemy is still out there. The question now is where?
It is over.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
If you only knew the power of the dark side. Darkness will march over the face of the earth. It will be the end, not just of our people, but all peoples. Everyone! I am sorry, but their time has come.
The past is with us all. The past is dead. We either move forward or we die with it.
This could be the beginning of a new era.
Away I must wander this wandering day.
To him finally being lionized in the prime, and his prime. Fuck.
Do it!
Shit.
Just do it! Don't let your dreams change. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Luke went from being... Oh, no. Welcome, Slayer Nation. I have some great news for you today. I hope you're all doing great. Nope, that didn't work. One more.
You have failed me for the last time.
Welcome, Slayer Nation. I hope...
If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
That is eating away at what you love in order for it to shine. And one man's vision is... Sometimes you don't have to make things better for them to be great again. You merely have to Okay. Hollywood continues to slow boil the culture and crazy. Well, right now, Spider-Man actor Andrew Garfield has stepped up and he's fighting motherfucker.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
And unbearded dwarves, but Prime didn't stop there. They stapled in intersectionality, individuality, biddiga-dig-bee, biddiga-dig-boo.
So it begins.
At my signal, unleash hell.
Ladies and gentlemen, George the Giant Slayer.
What's going on, everybody? I'm back. It's great to see you all. It's great to see you all. And I'm here with my good friend, Tom. Tom, how you doing today?
Weird.
You know, I haven't seen y'all since before New Year's.
It's been a bit.
Yeah, I got a little under the weather, but it feels like an eternity, you know? It's like a week. It's just forever. So, yeah, I am back. So I want to wish you all Happy New Year's. I've missed you. I was going to do originally a New Year's stream, and then my voice went out, and I was like, okay, I can just sign to everybody, but I don't know how exciting that would be. So let's see who's here. Nick the Greek. How you doing? Yasu, my friend. Olaf, the great mod, is in the chat. Bob the Lobster, Adams, and Marika Safiris, Christine Childress, Old School Millennial. We got the gang back together. I was like, I wonder if I go on. Are people going to be like, is anybody going to be there? Because, you know, again, a week in YouTube is like an eternity. But then I was checking out the news. We have worse things going on. Hi, Lucia. Hail to you. Neely Ford. War Monkey. Hell yeah. Again, members are back. Olaf. Good to see you here. Member for 12 months and one of the greatest mods and human beings around. George, happy belated New Year. Hope you feel okay now. Well, getting there. Always forward. Slowly but surely. But I just missed you guys. I'm like, I got to get on. So I was checking out everything going on with the fires. Called up a few friends. You know, Dante is okay. I spoke to Verbal. Hopefully he'll be able to join us this Sunday. Because, you know, this Sunday for Slayer Nation, it's going to be our 1 year celebration. Since we started streaming, I was like, that's a pretty cool thing. A year has passed, just like that. But just the same way that we covered Helene, the hurricanes, I want to take a look at what's going on with the fire. So let's ask the big questions. First, is this climate change? No. Climate change didn't cause the fires. Is it preventable? Not really. Can you minimize the damage and manage it better? 100%. Absolutely. And what's going on right now is detestable because, as we're going to cover in a second, you know, the mayor cut the funding for the fire department. I have a ton of my friends are work in the fire department in the Houston area and around Texas. And you're talking about incredible people who do the job like no one else, and they're never given enough credit. I mean, when you think about what firemen do, police are always getting the credit for everything, you know, as they should. When they do their job, they put their lives on the line, but so do firemen. And they're always the unsung heroes. So I wanted to share what Musk has been sharing. This is some of the scenes that you can see. Look at that devastation, Tom.
That's just insane.
It feels like Mad Max almost, or like Escape from LA.
Well, and I mean, I can relate in a sense that my family lost not only one house in a house fire, but a business. My dad lost two. Oh. So like, I know firsthand what it's like, and it sucks to have to start over from scratch. And I can't imagine all the people. Hopefully everybody's safe. Hopefully nobody got hurt.
So far, I haven't heard any.
Yeah.
I think two. I just hold on. I think I had it open for a newswire. Live updates: 5 simultaneous wildfires wreak havoc on Los Angeles. 1,000 structures destroyed. 2 deaths confirmed. Just confirmed. So that's horrible. Hey, Man of War is here. And do I do voice work? I've never done voice work in my life. I've been asked that before many times. I don't know why. You understand? It's nothing to do with the fire. I've always thought my voice in my head, it sounds high-pitched and squeaky. So when people say, do I do voice work? I'm like, no. It'd be fun.
You have a great narration voice.
Right, but you know, it's odd.
I have a trailer voice.
I love your trailer voice, but mine sounds squeaky in my head. I hear it now, and I think I sound like a high-pitched girl, you know, like a 16-year-old.
No, I understand. Yeah.
And it's odd. My whole life, I always thought like, go out on.
I always thought like, and that's when I got into radio. I was like, everybody always said like, I love your voice. I love your voice. I'm like, I think I sound like Michael J. Fox in my head.
Like, I know what you mean.
Like, Doc, like, welcome to the show. The weather is sucky outside. Like, oh my God. Like that's what I sound like in my head. And so I know exactly what you're saying, right? Like, so
it's just really odd. It's just the oddest thing. But so Elon shared this. You could see. And he had, oh damn it, he had the picture of what it looked like before the fire.
Wow. So now my understanding was this some kind of brush fire that was started and got out of control, or a couple of brush fires that got out of control or something like that? Is that the story they're going with?
What I understand is that they had about 80 to 90 mile hour winds and that they were warning people. Let's just read it directly from the news. And they were warning people that there were sparks flying. I even have a video of where you can watch this person is videotaping outside of their home or their apartment. Let me see if I can pull that up. And you can see sparks on the cables just bouncing like it's
I saw that one.
July. And I was like, come on. And nobody did anything about it. And but again, when you have, here it is, perfect. You have, you can see the sparks. Take a look at that. So you got all that wind going, and then you get these sparks flying. Of course, there's going to be a fire that's going to start. That's no joke. But this is what happens when people go all full. And I know people don't like to say it now. I'm like, don't kick a dog when it's down. I'm not kicking a dog. But this is the responsibility of the governor of California, Newsom. When you prioritize everything about climate over people, politics over private lives, when you don't put the public first, you're going to have this crap. Fires are going to happen. And, I was looking back. You know how they used to be not prevented, but again, controlled. One of the best ways that they were controlled was by Indians. There are a ton of articles how Indians controlled them. For many millennia, fire.
Yeah, we do a lot of controlled brush fires up here in Wisconsin too. Yeah.
Because you have to. But they do not do that. They do not do it appropriately in California, I was reading. Because it says here, for many millennia, fire was integral to many indigenous people's way of life. Native Americans, Alaska Natives, Native Hawaiians used fire to clear areas for crops and travel, to manage the land for specific species of both plants and animals, to hunt game, and for many other important uses. Fire was a tool that promoted ecological diversity and reduced the risk of catastrophic wildfires. It's called cultural burning. They would do controlled burns.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want to be here 500 years ago, 300 years ago, 1,000 years ago. Hey, tree got hit by lightning. Next thing you know, wiped out the entire camp. I mean, they've been doing this since they put up the first TP. So what have we learned from that? What I found interesting. Hey, J.S. Pena, great to see you too. What I found interesting was that you had Steve Guttenberg. You remember from Police Academy and Cocoon?
Of course.
He was out there helping. He was helping the firemen. He was out there trying to help.
Yeah, had Michael Winslow behind him going, woo, woo, woo. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. Yeah. They kill me there. Like, I'm over the cough, but no, it's but they didn't know who the hell he was. And I was kind of shocked by that. Like they didn't know who Steve Guttenberg was. We were like, who the hell is this guy? I'm like, how times changed. I mean, here he is. You had Gutenberg out there. Because people are just ditching their cars for some reason. Oh, that's the James Woods one. Hold on. Say it.
Yeah, I sent you something else related to that one here just a second ago in the background.
Where is it?
Yeah, when we get to James Gunn, James Woods.
Hold on. 1 second. I'm coming back. I'm getting back into the saddle. Give me one. Here we go. This is Steve Guttenberg from Cocoon and Police Academy. The man's doing his job out there, helping everybody.
Here on Palisades Drive, if anybody has a car
and they leave the keys in the car, so that we can move your car, so that these fire trucks can get up Palisades Drive. What's happening is people take their keys with them as if they're in a parking lot. This is not a parking lot. We really need people to move their cars. So if you leave your car in Palisades Drive, leave the key in there.
Does that make
Because there's people
any
leaving it
sense?
like right on the freeway and shit, I think is what he's saying. Yeah.
Right, but does that make any sense to you? Why you would take your car keys? There's a fire raging. Leave them in there.
I get what he said. Yeah, because like people would just instinctually take their keys, like you're parking, but he's saying you're not parking. So for other people, like at this point, to be able to get to move the car, it's a lot easier if you have the keys, because otherwise you're gonna have to get a fucking tow truck in there or whatever.
I know this is a bit off topic, but are you shocked that nobody knows who Steve Guttenberg is? There was another clip. I cannot find it because you had a couple of people who somebody filmed him like, who the hell are you? They basically told him. And he was kind of like, what?
He hasn't really made a movie of great note in 30 years, but that being said, I mean,
That's
yeah,
like
of a
saying-
certain generation, I can understand people not knowing who the hell Steve Guttenberg is.
Really? It'd be like saying you don't know who Jimmy Stewart is or Humphrey Bogart.
I get it, but like for us, like we grew up in an era where we literally had almost 2 Steve Guttenberg movies every year until like 1990, right? Like from 80 to 90, like for a decade almost. But yeah, after that, he just fell off the map, and he did a few things here and there, but it's not like a lot of his movies have lived on. Like the Police Academy films and Short Circuit and Cocoon haven't exactly.
They're not classics?
They're classics to us, but I wouldn't say they're movies that have crossed over generations exactly.
Okay.
So a guy like me can move your car and get them up there so that these fire trucks can get up there. It's really, really important.
Thank you for talking to us live, sir. What's your name?
My name is Steve.
And even there, it's like, what's your name? I'm like, I feel like the reporter should know better.
Oh, the reporter didn't even know. Like, I can't believe somebody didn't tell the reporter who he is.
I mean, you heard that.
That is silly.
Here.
Thank you for talking to us live, sir. What's your name?
My name is Steve Guttenberg.
Steve, you live.
I love how he says it like, dude, you should fucking know who I am.
I know, it's like, we shouldn't be laughing, but it's just, I guess, again, Tom
Poor
said it,
Steve. Yeah.
from our generation, it's like, you're who? Of course, it's Steve Guttenberg. But it would be funny if that black
I mean,
guy
the
was
voice,
behind
the face, he doesn't like, he looks great for his age. I'll give him that. Like, he must take care of himself. I know he just brought out a book not too long ago. I was going to try to see about booking him for something, but
I am Steve Guttenberg. Remember me?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like he kind of gets it. I'm sure he gets it that he's kind of,
I don't know. It feels kind of weird.
That would have been a funny place for him to plug his book, though, wouldn't it? Speaking of, by the way,
oh,
I have a book out right now called I Am Steve Guttenberg. The guy from Police Academy.
Oh, boy. Oy vey. Blitzen. God bless you, Blitzen. Starting off the new year with
10. Holy cow.
George the Giant. Thank you, Blitzen. Always. What a beautiful soul. Everybody, please go thank Blitzen. That's a way to start it off. Feels good. Get him back. What did you have to share, Tom? You said something was in the back.
Oh, well, this was related to the James Woods thing, so you might as well bring that up first, but then he just posted this, and then Alex Jones posted it out too, where I guess James Woods confirms that his company that had his homeowner's insurance, they dropped a bunch of the houses there. They dropped that whole area months ago. So like that's because
areas that happen to border
here.
Yep, that's the one. Yep.
Areas where the elites want to get the property, just like Lahaina in Maui a few years ago. People started saying, "Hey, we all got our insurance canceled the last 2 months." Others said, "No, it happened 3 months ago, 4 months ago." But James Woods, who lives in the area, his house almost burned down. There's footage of that. In fact, it was almost burning down this morning. Who knows if it's even there now? Came out and said, actually, one of the major insurance companies canceled all the policies in our neighborhood.
I was going to say, I think he confirmed it did get burnt down, yeah.
That's horrible. I mean, that's something that you want to just get up out of your seat and go rip them apart. Now, I do not believe, I'm not suggesting this, I do not believe, I'm not a fan of Luigi Mangione and all the crap that he did, everything that he pulled off. I'm sick and tired of all the fans of his who are going around social media, on TikTok, Instagram, going, "Ooh, what a hero." That man was not a hero. He was a cold-blooded killer. Because the last thing we need is more people turning around and going, "Look, You know, they canceled insurance. Scumbags. They are scumbags, but that's why you have a system. You go through the system and you bring noise to it, you highlight it, you shine a light on it, and you make damn sure that those people, I was about to say something else, so those people pay for it in the court system. Send their ass to jail if you can find a legal means to do it. But I already started seeing earlier, thank you, Tom, for sharing that. I started seeing earlier, people were like, yeah, Luigi, you know, he was just getting started. Disgusting.
Well, and I mean, you know, we don't necessarily like a lot of these actors right now and some of these other folks, but like, you know, like it sucks. As somebody who's lost their house, I know what it feels like. Now, granted, some of these people have multiple houses, so I don't feel as bad for them. Right. But somebody like James Gunn, I just did it again. James Woods, who,
Gunn on the mind.
you know, who, right, you know, like you see that he lost his house here, but they just canceled his insurance a few months ago. That's a bunch of horse shit. Yeah. But like, I guess Mark Hamill's had to evacuate, Chris Pratt, Billie Eilish, Jamie Lee Curtis and Christopher Guest lost one of their houses, I guess, too. So again, I do feel bad for them, not as bad as I do, you know, normal folk. I feel worse for people who are losing their entire lives right now. Like that's the people my heart goes out to. Absolutely.
And Sassy's right. Nobody deserves it. Even if you hate their guts, they don't. There's a way. This is the difference between us and in other countries. I'm not slagging them. There are a few countries in the world where they kind of promote a certain, look, the idea of vigilantes is always nice. It is. It's always nice in television. It's always great in books. It's always great in movies. But who is the one who's going to tell that vigilante, right? Like, what is their target? We love Batman. We love The Dark Knight. But it's different when you're talking about reality.
Well, look at what just happened with that health insurance, or not health insurance, the medical industry guy from the Big Pharma. Like, that's basically that kid who did that is something like the Joker or the Riddler would do.
I know, but
think about it.
That's why I was saying, but do you know how many fans he has online?
Yeah, I know. And then that's why I was saying, I was expanding off of what you were just saying. And like, look at where we're at now. We actually have basically a supervillain.
Basically.
And this is what people got to understand. And this is where in a world of like Gotham, it is kind of easy to understand where some people would go like, hey, that Joker guy's got a fucking point.
Right. Again, does he have a point to kill him? No. Does he have a point that they're scumbags and they've done some horrific? Yes. So let's just, you know what's great about our age now? What I love about it is that we can then put the camera on them, focus on them, bring out the facts 24/7 till they couldn't breathe. So every person on the planet knows, here's what they did, here's what they've done, here's who they've hurt. This is how you get back at them. This is how you go through the system and you make sure that they're not able to move. They're not able to hurt other people. Graph Web for $2. For the love of God, cancel Disney Plus. He always knows what to say to perk me up.
Well, the upside is maybe now that we got Big Pharma guy, maybe we'll get Batman somehow.
Okay, I'm going to have to bring it up then real quick so we can have a laugh for a moment. You brought it up. I got to. I have no choice now. No choice.
I think I'm the man for this job.
Does anyone remember Armie Hammer the Cannibal?
I like punching people. I'll punch a cannibal.
Armie Hammer from Lone Ranger with Johnny Depp is set for a lead role in the UV. Is it UV or UE?
Uva Bowl is kind of
uvula. No,
you can't say that on television.
Armie Hammer set for lead role in the Uvula Bowl's vigilante thriller, The Dark Knight. It's not a joke. It is not April Fool's. And
Armie Hammer's back, kids.
And he's back. I guess he's going to play something similar. No, it's a movie, Krabby Patty, and it's going to be a vigilante similar to The Dark Knight, supposedly. Armie Hammer's comeback is picking up steam. Yeah, he probably nibbled a couple of toes on his way up the ladder after nabbing the starring role in Uvula Bowl's latest film, The Dark Knight. Hammer is set to play the crime-fighting titular character in the vigilante thriller, which is scheduled to begin principal photography in Croatia on January 27th. All right. The embattled actor who saw his career come to a halt in 2021 following allegations of sexual misconduct, recently returned to work in Travis Mills' forthcoming Western Frontier Crucible for Cannibals, which also stars Thomas Jane, and I like Thomas Jane, and William H. Macy. I used to like Macy. Now, in case for those who haven't rotted a few brain cells because of good old UV Bowl, I'm going to just share with you something that he did. Just to remind you, it's always good. You want to expand your palate to know what true crap is like, even in today's age. Okay. Nope, it's not there. Where are you? There we go, uvula. Okay.
Blubberella, what the hell is this?
That was his 2011 film.
Oh no, it looks like a porn I watched.
What you looking at?
Damn, I just wanted to see if there was any more of you in there.
Almost say what?
What?
Exactly.
Blubberella is a political satire about a half woman, half vampire that destroys Nazis.
Hey guys, bet you wish you had.
That sounds really good on paper, actually.
Wait.
All right, we'll accept that as a dark comedy.
Which one looks better on the wedding invitation? Look, this one, this one.
However, viewers were distracted by the similarities between this and Bohl's Blood Rain: The Third Reich, of which this was apparently supposed to be a parody.
Hey, what's up, A to the D to the OLH?
That's UV Bowl, and that's his best work.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, no, he's
I know it was meant to be campy, toxic. I was trying to show his best work, not Blood Rain, which I still can't believe. I always forget his name, so I just call him.
He's
Gandhi.
a character, all right.
Gandhi did it. You know, Ben Kingsley starred in Blood Rain. Don't know how you can take an Oscar winner who played Gandhi and have him star in a UV Bowl film.
Look, he's done a lot of movies in the last 2 decades that I wouldn't exactly.
But UV Bowl? I mean, do
yeah,
you really?
UV Bowl is a.
How does this guy make? That's when I know you and I can make movies. This guy can make a movie. Come on. We can make a movie. And he gets funding. I don't know who the hell funds him. I know he gets a little bit from the German government.
Yeah, that's his big thing. I mean, I remember back in the day, his big claim to fame was stuff like House of the Dead. And he did that In the Name of the King with Jason Statham that was pretty well received. And of course, the Blood Rain bit. But like, yeah, after that, I mean, he did Postal and a few other things, but he kind of became this joke. And like, they wouldn't even let him do movies in Hollywood anymore, it felt like. like I don't know. And look, this thing here, I see this, and I brought this up this morning on the morning show when we were talking about it, and I think Script Doctor was in agreement, and we kind of were on the same page when we're like, look, all this is to do what we're doing right now, to talk about this. Because when's the last time we talked about an Uwe Boll movie, right?
I remember.
And not only that, Armie Hammer, he needs a bit of some
licking?
headlines right now. Well. Look, we make fun of his little kink, and I'm not here to kink shame anybody. And his kink might go a little over a line or two, but in Hollywood, I'm surprised.
People.
What's funny is in Hollywood, the only reason he's been ousted is just because he got caught. Because these are the same people who eat babies, for fuck's sake, allegedly. So,
okay. Armie Hammer. Did you ever read the emails when they were printed?
Yeah, I saw him. Yeah.
He's just so the chat knows, so we can bring them in on this for those who don't know. I'm going to paraphrase it, but he was sending text messages and emails to this actress, his girlfriend. And it's not like, honey, I can't wait to come home.
She was kind of leading into it too, though. So
she was into the rough stuff. I give you that. She admitted it. But he wasn't like, hey, put on a nightie, let's pop a little bubbly, let's put on some music. It was more like, I am in the mood for something finger licking good. I can't wait to eat your brains. That's, little thing. Or bite a toe. No big deal.
Look, there is a fetish for people who want to consume other people and people who want people to consume them. As long as it's between consenting adults,
just go eat each other.
I guess. Find a country where it's legal, I guess. That's all I'm going to say, because in fact, I think it might even technically be legal in America. I don't know.
Did you ever think, do you hear what we're talking about? We're talking about it's okay for two consenting adults to
We live in a world where as long as it doesn't involve children, George, at this point.
No, I draw a line at cannibalism.
I mean, honestly, if the other person's involved in it, I don't know if I can really say shit.
Okay, they might have a mental disorder, you know, a little tiny thing called.
Oh, that I'm not going to deny. Well, that's every fetish, though. Let's be real.
I mean, did you ever think that there would be such a thing as furries? I mean, you figure, of course, that's
my point. That's my point. You act like this is insane. It's like, yeah, it's insane, but it's not that much more insane than fucking a dog if you think about it.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, really.
That turned really quickly.
Well, you brought up the furries, and let's be real. What are furries but one step away from that? Come on. And I'm not trying to kink shame anybody. Don't get me wrong here.
I am kink shaming.
You can go ahead. I'm one of those people at this point with things are so fucking bad that as long as it doesn't involve kids and it's consenting adults, what the fuck ever at this point.
It's okay. I respect Tom's opinion. I will kink shame. If you got to eat people's fingers, yeah, that's you're ready for rubber.
I'm not saying that's not over a line. I'm not saying that.
No, I get you.
But
a
lot of kinks are. So,
but you're more accepting. I will say that. I am more judgmental. I'm open but judgmental. See, that's called love. But
I don't want to live with that person.
Yeah.
I don't want to wake up without a toe someday. Like I'm not.
I get you.
If I had a girlfriend and she's like, you know what? I've been thinking about cannibalism. That's the end of that relationship, George.
Yeah.
Like, at that moment in time, like, I agree with you there.
Yeah, no, thank you. Aloha to you too, my friend. Great to see you. Nick the Greek for $5. It's okay to eat people as long as you have it with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Yes, Nico.
Hello, Mr. Hammer.
You know who I've been following? Wait till that's my beagle. So give Snoopy a second. That means somebody is walking by the door to drop something off.
I know what that's like, yeah.
But no, speaking of, till we get back to the fire tour series, we had a little break there, a few more. But speaking of, speaking of Anthony Hopkins.
Well, and you brought up the well, you didn't even breach the title, right? Like The Dark Knight. Because, yeah, I agree with you, like we talked about before the show. I don't think they can legally use that title.
That's what I was going to ask.
And I think that's another thing that Uwe Boll is doing on purpose because he knows he's going to get a cease and desist letter from Warner Brothers or DC. And he's just going to be able to do a headline about it. He's going to make a fuss about it. And then he's going to change the name anyway, which is another story. So there you go. He's going to have 3 or 4 stories, headline stories in Variety and Hollywood Reporter and all these other bigger papers before it's all said and done about this movie. And this will be the first movie that anybody's watched since Blood Rain because Armie Hammer's in it. So they're going to be interested to see what the hell this is all about.
But does he still have a following? No, seriously.
Not really. I mean, he is. Oh, Armie Hammer?
Yeah.
Not really.
Like if he had a Q rating, what would it be? 5, 0? Like, I mean,
he's trying to present it in this article, and that's kind of the whole basis of this whole interview or whatever the hell this is taken from, because he's bringing up, I've been turning down all these offers. It's like, motherfucker, if you're taking an Uwe Boll movie, I don't want to know what your other offers are, because like Script Doctor said, they're most likely like really low end fucking indie pictures who are basically just trying to get him attached to them so they can get funding, which is really all Uwe Boll is doing with this. Right, but Uwe Boll just happens to be Uwe Boll, so it's not just some indie nobody.
What do you think? He wants money from Hammer? Is that what you're thinking?
Oh, it's like I just said. This is what this is we're talking about this. When's the last time anybody's talked about an Uwe Boll movie? A decade ago?
Yeah.
Right, like that's the whole point. It's not only that, it's headline news on Variety and Hollywood Reporter and all that shit because of Armie Hammer. That's why he's got Armie Hammer involved. Now, Andre has pointed out that having Armie Hammer there means that you might be able to get some funding from his family, or you're definitely going to get some funding from somewhere, but just because of the Hammer name and him being involved. And that's the same thing like Script was saying with like, and I agreed with him in saying too, is like, you know, he's getting really cheap shit offers. But they're people who just want to use his name to get funding, and that's all he's really good for at this point, is people who are below the line outside of Hollywood, don't really have any ties to Hollywood, and they just want to be able to get their movie made, right? Like, so it's like, do they like Armie Hammer? Maybe, maybe not, but having him involved, controversy even still, is enough to get your movie made, probably. right? And with Uwe Boll, it's not just enough to get his movie made, which is already going to be a given. It was enough to get his movie headlines on Variety and Hollywood Reporter and us talking about it on our podcasts and all that kind of stuff. See, so that's the thing, is somebody's actually talking about Uwe Boll for the first time in forever, you know, and not just referencing him kicking the shit out of critics.
Yeah, the last time you had a new, hold on one second. Yuki is putting up this. Yuki, thank you. Entire downtown of Altadena is under fire.
Oh wow.
Let me look that up for a second. Thank you, Yuki. I appreciate you telling me that. I'm going to play this. This was the last time that I could find a clip from Uwe Boll, and while I'm looking, I'm going to play this for a second, and then I'm going to look up that fire so we can get back to it. This was the last interview or the last few clips that I could find of Uwe Boll.
It's Uwe Boll, and that is the last update. We have only 4 days to do with the Rampage campaign. Basically, my message is F yourself.
Hey, it's
okay.
That's the last time he got away with it. He did a Rampage movie right around the same time we got the Rock Rampage movie.
Mm-hmm.
But since that's just a single word, I don't think you can copyright that. The Dark Knight, on the other hand, I don't think that's generic enough that he's going to be able to get away with that one.
Gotcha.
But anyway, that's all.
Yeah, no, I didn't know because I figured would it be DC who would be going after him or Christopher Nolan?
Yeah, and I think he knows what he's doing on purpose. Like I said, he'll sit there, he'll get a cease and desist, he'll do an interview where he bitches about it, and then he'll quietly change the name, and then he'll get another interview where he talks about the new name change and all that shit. Yeah, yeah. I think it's all by design. That's my point.
Well, I believe you. Here's James Woods. Now we're going to go back to the fire, and again, thank you, Yuki.
I'm 77 years old, man. I can't walk up these hills. It's like Mount Everest there. It's like, pretty steep. So, it's just I posted this on X, but Sarah was on with her 8-year-old niece last night. And she came out. I'm sorry. Just, one day you're swimming in the pool and the next day it's all gone. But she came out with her little Yeti piggy bank. For us to rebuild our house.
Oh my gosh, James Woods, we all hope that you will be able to rebuild your house, maybe starting with that little Yeti piggy bank. And we're just glad that you're okay and your wife is okay.
I'm sorry,
you have your lives. Yeah, no, I mean, this is real and it's raw.
I thought I
and
would
you,
be stronger than this.
you don't, you are, you know what? Strength is not measured by whether, you hold in crying or not. Strength is what you are doing now and helping your neighbors and shining a light on the great, amazing work of all those firefighters and emergency crews out there. You have so much strength, and we appreciate you coming on to reflect what so many others just like you are experiencing in that raw emotion right now. We wish you the best, you and your wife, as you rebuild your lives. So many people are doing that right now and trying to process what's going on. So, James, and also keep us posted on your 94-year-old neighbor and everything going on. We're going to continue to talk, and we wish you the very best.
He's okay. Yeah. They found him. He's in the hospital.
He's okay.
Yeah. If anybody knows where Robert Trinkteller is, call me. Let me know.
This is. I respect the hell out of James Woods. Not only his acting career, everything he's done, but also how he loves his country. But this is a little odd because he has slammed CNN, MSNBC, all the networks for years, especially the last 4 years. I'm praying for everyone, but that's very odd. I will say there is something I didn't like about it. I like the fact that James Woods is himself. I'm all for that. I don't like the comments from the shill at CNN. Oh, no, this is a raw moment. You can, share your emotions, get that all out. Because she doesn't give a shit about him. All she cares is about the ratings. Am I wrong, Tom? She wants him, see James Woods cry. I think it always has sent this wrong message for you. It's like, oh, no, you want to be a man, you got to get out there and let it all flow. Let the tears flow. Why don't you just tell us about every little feeling you have? I'm like, he's shocked. He's moved. God bless him. I hope everything works out for him. I hope it works out for the 94-year-old
There's
neighbor.
only 2 times a man should cry. It's when his dad dies and when he's giving away his daughter at a wedding. That's it.
I agree. So That's where I was going. That's where I was going.
And there's one exception if you're drunk enough and your team loses. Well, once you're a child, you're a child. You're not a man yet. That's
I'm talking about if something happens to your child.
Oh, well, that's different. Yeah, if you lose a child, that's...
It's like, I'll give you an example. We were at my grandmother's funeral, right? My grandmother's funeral. I'm very close to her. Was very close to her. I mean, her and my granddad, they helped raise me. Like, you're talking hand in glove. These were my grandparents. And I was really lucky growing up because I'd say half of my friends... They didn't have grandparents. By the time we were in high school, they had passed away. My grandparents were around until I was over 30. And I remember the whole family, Greek family especially, tears. And in Greece, let me just tell you, in Greece, people throw themselves into the damn hole. I mean, I'm not talking dramatics. They do that. Like, they're like crying and weeping and tearing and clawing and like, I can't live. Right. And they jump into the hole. So with all this emotion here, everybody's going crazy. I wasn't crying. On the inside, I felt pain, but you're like, okay, a part of me wanted to for a moment. And I'm like, you have your whole family here. They're already a wreck. Who the hell is going to stand up and give them a shoulder to
Usually
cry?
That's kind of the case. Yeah, there has to be some kind of...
And I remember this girl, I don't know who brought her. It was like, George, what is the matter with you? Well, what are you doing? Don't you want to show your emotions? Real men show their emotions. And I'm like, that's usually what not real men say. But I was sitting here. I was like, because I thought about it for a moment. I'm like, if I had turned around and cried, you're watching everybody. They're on a razor's edge. It's like they were balancing on a tightrope, like they're all going to collapse here. So I'm like, no. There are times for everything. I'll tell you when I cried. I cried when I cried after the funeral. And then I also cried for my granddad and when my dog Rocky passed away. That may sound weird, but for whatever reason, when my dog passed, and that was karma for me. Let me explain something. I loved dogs when I was little, but then for about 15, 20 years, I didn't have a dog. And I used to make fun of all my friends. They would go crazy for their dogs. Seriously, they'd be like, their dog this, their dog that, everywhere, any type of sniffle. And for some reason, I had this disconnect for a little while. And I'd be like, cool, I like dogs, but you're treating it like it's a kid. And they're like, just wait till you get a dog. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not like you. I'm not. And like, just wait. And so years pass. My sister gets married. She wanted me to take care of her dog for a while. Well, you know how that ends up going. It eventually becomes my dog. And so I'm taking care. His name was Rocky. And a year passes. All of a sudden, I notice he's not feeling well. I'm like, okay, I take him to the vet. The vet turns around after 30 minutes like, George, he's got these cancer tumors. Oh, my God. If I did not whip out a credit card and go, here you go, whatever it takes, whatever you have to do, make sure he's okay. And it hit me at that moment. I'm like, karma is a bitch and it teaches you a lesson. I called up every one of my friends within that week. And I'm like, I apologize sincerely. I did not realize how close you were and how connected you were, your animals, your pets, your dogs, your family. They're like, what the hell is the matter with you? Where's the asshole? Because I used to say I'm a lovable ass. Anyway, long story short, I love that dog and cry. But so I understand James Woods. I feel bad for the people who don't have access like James Woods or Mark Hamill or Jamie Lee Curtis.
That's
those
what I was
are the
before,
people. And you said it beautifully. I feel bad for them because no one is going out and putting a camera in their face and going, hey, how can we help you? How is your neighbor doing? What is going on with you and your family? I called up a few people early and I'm like, are y'all okay? Is everything all right? And they're like, yeah.
And I guess to be clear, I should have been more clear on what I said before. Men can cry at other times. Those are just the only 2.3 times that you can be allowed to be seen crying. That's what I meant. So,
I agree with you.
Yeah. You go and you find a place quietly to cry as a man where nobody else can see you. Like that's usually the case.
I agree with you. I agree. So let's find out now how and why this is all turning out to be such a nightmare. Again, fires, they rage, they can get out of control. It's about managing them and minimizing the damage because that's what right now the firemen are doing. They're trying to save lives. but they don't have the ability to do it at their best, at their maximum. Because I found this morning. I was talking to Tom on the phone before we started streaming when I asked him if he would join me, which bless him, he did. LA Mayor Karen Bass cut fire department funding by $17.6 million months before wildfires turned city into a hellscape. I don't know if California, if anybody knows this, please let me know. Does Los Angeles have the ability to recall their mayors? Because I would say that's first business in order. The Los Angeles Fire Department had its budget cut by, we already said, $17.6 million in this financial year. Records show fire crews continue to battle out of control blazes, ravaging the city of Angels. The drastic decrease in funding for the fire department was the second largest cut to come out of embattled Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass's 2024-2025 fiscal year budget. The police budget, meanwhile, increased by $126 million. This is what I'm talking about. Firemen are the backbone, a spine of our community, but they get none of the credit. They get none of the perks. I know a lot of police officers, a couple in my family. They are allotted uniform allowances. If they speak another language, they get perks for that. They get benefits at the yin-yang. They can go be security and get, $20, $25, $30 an hour. Firemen, they don't have the same ability. So whenever you see firemen, and you can, thank them. Help them out. Do something nice. Go to your local station, take them some food. Ask them, what do they want? A good relative of mine took me once with him for a couple of shifts because he was doing overnighters on the D shift at a station. Do you know half the calls they make are some of the most, the work that they do is so unsung. There was this lady about 83 years old. She would call 911. 911 would dispatch her. She would tell them she had a heart issue. And of course, they would send out the EMTs. They send out the fire department. They'd get there. And every week they told me it was the same thing. They told her, look, here's our number. Just call us directly. She'd say, I haven't eaten. And they'd bring her a burger, fry, something else she wanted to. They do a lot for the community that people don't realize. There was that gentleman, I think it was 92. His whole family had passed away. He was all alone. He couldn't get up to change the television station because, he still had an old television. And he'd ask them to do it. It only picked up 2 or 3 channels. They just do brilliant work. So we shouldn't cut their budgets. And when you get politics involved like that, it's just California law says local officials can be recalled. Thank God, Blitzen. Thank you for sharing that. Put that up here. That's good. Well, that should happen immediately. Immediately. And here, let's hear what this fire chief has to say. The one thing I will say irks me, Tom.
What's that?
Is the hurricane and that ravaged through North Carolina. It still hasn't gotten the national attention it deserves. And I wonder, is this the cynical side of me? If there were Hollywood stars there, would there be camera crews there 24/7?
No, not likely. And that's kind of where I was getting at earlier. Is like if this was happening in some like no-name town in the middle of nowhere, you probably would be hearing about it on national news until it was all over with.
Right. Does that bother you? Because it bothers me. Hey, Epic Mike, how you doing? Much love to you. It bothers me a bit. Like, is this getting attention because of the amount of damage, of the strength of the fire, or is it getting a little extra helping because of the media?
Yeah, I'm sure eventually if it was something this big in some other places, it probably would get a little bit more attention. Don't get me wrong. I guess I misspoke a little bit there, but at the same time, I don't think it would be getting as much coverage. I don't think we'd be hearing the stories that we're hearing if it wasn't James Woods and Steve Guttenberg and Jamie Lee Curtis and Chris Pratt and Mark Hamill. Those things make a difference. But I think the bigger point is hopefully we'll see more people do what people do when these things happen. And that is come through, try to help their fellow man, try to set aside differences, those kind of things. And seeing James Woods on CNN, that's a start, right? Like when CNN had James Woods on 4 months ago. No.
Well, Yuki is back, and she says evacuations have been upgraded from warnings to now orders for Zone San Q1388-BA. New evacuation warning has been issued for Zone San Q1389. And I saw earlier that Chris Gore received an evacuation notice for where he's living, and he said he wasn't moving. I hope everything goes well with him. Absolutely. Hey, Jose Taco. Thank you for that. Great to see you, my friend, and Happy New Year to everybody who I haven't seen since the new year. Again, bless you all. Here's, I think, the fire chief.
I'm super inspired.
She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I said, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
Out of 3,300 city firefighters, only 115 are women right now. She's already looking at ways to change that. She's quick to point out that doing so has a greater purpose.
What the hell does that have to do with putting out a fire?
Nothing.
What does diversity have to do? You want people who can do the job.
Attracting the best and brightest for the job.
They feel included, they feel valued, and they feel part of a cohesive team.
The chief also checks another box when it comes to inclusivity and diversity at this department. She's a proud member of the LGBTQ community.
That just kind of opens the door of people that thought, wow, I didn't even know that that was an opportunity for.
Oh, whatever. Okay. Yeah. Done with that one. Let's get to some live updates to see what's going on. But you were telling me earlier, Tom, that you had, were you saying that you had lost a home to a fire, or you had?
Yeah. Yeah. When I was 13, we had a house fire due to we had a wood stove.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of years later, my dad had a small engines business, and my brother accidentally left, or probably set down, I guess what it was, whatever happened. He had a welder, and he set it down. It was still hot, and I think it was next to some oil or something like that, and it sparked and ignited it or something like that. I wasn't there at the time it happened, so they lost the business there because of the fire. But so that's 2 fires in my family I've had to deal with in my life. Yeah, so
yeah,
but yeah, no. So I know firsthand what it's like.
Olaf is right. Fire DEI department. Yeah. Thank you for sending this. This is from Rob Schneider. Fuck you, State Farm. Screw you and all your phony commercials. You're a pile of crap for canceling insurance policies of Californians. I will never use State Farm insurance ever again. Well said. Well said. I mean, you pay insurance your entire life, and the purpose of it is so they can be there when the time comes. I have to find, somebody said that there was a clip of Trump responding to this. Have you found that? Have you seen it? I have not. I didn't really prepare. I didn't prepare for the stream. It's kind of unusual. I like to prepare for it, but again, I was still sick. I'm like still running about 100, almost 101, but I'm like, I just missed everybody. I'm like, I got to get back in and streaming. I felt weird. It's so odd how your life changes. You know, when I first started it, I started YouTube 3 years ago. I didn't stream for the first 2 years, Tom. I streamed with you and Andre and comics and all my friends, but I hadn't done a show, and it's different. It's, you know, you follow certain paths in lives and you change or grow in different areas. And I started streaming, and when I didn't, it's like, man, it's like a part of me was missing. It's like I wanted to talk about stuff, even though I couldn't really talk. I guess I could next time just hold up a little sign, a little board. Hello, I can't talk. Here's what I'm thinking. Anyway, there's supposed to be a video of Trump responding to this. Oh, here's one from when he was on Joe Rogan talking about what's going on in California.
They said, we have no water. I said, do you have a drought? No, we don't have a drought. I said, why don't you have no water? Because the water isn't allowed to flow down. It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north. Water, more water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish, the water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water gets poured. I could have water for all of that land, water for your forests. You know, your forests are dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dangerous.
That water could be routed. You know, you could have everything. Oh, not only dangerous, billions of dollars a year they spend on forest fires. And, you know, there's a case with the environment. They're not allowed to rake their forests because you're not allowed to touch it. And all they have to do is clean their forest, meaning rake it up, get rid of the leaves, get rid of, you know, leaves that are sitting there for 5 years. And
We'll
they're,
certainly
you know,
get rid of the dead fall.
What he's talking about is what we said earlier, the controlled burning, the same thing that the Native American Indians have done. You know, they've done it for centuries. It sounds like common sense.
Yeah, they do it here. I'm sure they do it in a lot of other states too. So
it's just odd, Tom, how so much of common sense has disappeared, you know, just basic things. Basic. And then here is who I think is going to be the next Prime Minister of Canada. I always found this video great. Yeah, my voice was out, and then last night it came back. Stopped with the whole cough, and except just the fever, but I had energy, you know, still keeping up good energy. It's a lot of Greek mountain tea and Greek honey. Let me tell you, that stuff is like medicine. Love it.
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Well, appealing to people's more emotional levels, I would guess. I mean,
What do you mean by that?
certainly
Give me an
you tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
Left wing, you know, this and that, right wing, you know, I mean, it's that type of ideological thing.
I never really talk about left
But
or right.
anyways,
I
I
don't really believe in that.
Okay. A lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but
like who?
I don't know who, but
well, you're the one who asked the question, so
yeah.
You must know somebody.
Okay, I'm sure there's some out there, but anyways, the point of this question is, I mean, why should Canadians trust you with their vote, given, you know, not just the sort of ideological inclination in terms of taking the page out of Donald Trump's book, but
what are you
also
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a page? Give me the page. You keep saying
in terms of turning things quite dramatically in terms of Trudeau and the left wing and all of this. I mean, you make quite a, you know, it's quite a play that you make on it. So I'm
not sure. I don't know what your question is.
Then forget that. Why should Canadians trust you with their vote?
Common sense. Okay. Common sense for a change. We're going to make common sense common in this country. We don't have any common sense in the current government. You know, the guy prints $600 billion, grows our money supply by 32% in 3 years. That's growing the money 8 times faster than the economy. No wonder we have the worst inflation in 4 decades. I'm going to cap spending, cut waste.
I just love the way Oliver demolished that reporter. I really like that guy. I think it's a great thing that Trudeau is going to finally be gone. I was looking up while that was playing. I was trying to find some more news about what's exactly going on right now. And here is a clip from an article about Biden and how he was handling it. And it states at least 2 people have died, many more injured, and the fire remains at 0% containment. California wildfire update. Yeah, that is stunning. Tens of thousands of residents forced to evacuate homes. Over 5,000 acres burned in Palisades. I've driven through the Pacific Palisades before. It was beautiful. Fire in Altadena is at 2,227 acres and remains at 0% containment. Hearst Fire has scorched at least 500 acres. And breaking 9/11. Okay, Joe Biden, here's what it was talking about. Joe Biden cut off the fire briefing to talk about himself. What? Where's the clip? Hold on. Let me see if there's a clip here. Oh, God. I cannot believe this. It's so typical. It's just like typical of what we've expected. That's happened from our government.
They got this notification yesterday their home is probably burning down. Today, they're
parents that maybe still standing, I'm not sure. But the good news is, I'm a great grandfather as of today. I have a granddaughter, grandson, baby girl, baby boy.
Nobody gives a shit right now.
My face is frozen because I'm trying to understand. He's giving a fire briefing with the governor of California, and that's kind of like, well,
I
that's
got a
a
great
wrap.
grandbaby. I'm gonna eat her toes, smell her hair.
He's got
Just
a
to let
great.
you know.
It's like, what the
Her baby
hell
boy.
is that about? How are you doing that? That is cool.
It's called AI.
AI, yeah, I got it.
Artificial intelligence, because Lord knows the government ain't got none.
You're not shocked by that in the least, are you? Where he's like, we're talking about thousands of acres being burned, damaged.
No, he's a
people
fucking
running.
politician. Not only that, he's one of the
I know.
worst.
I know, but you're not talking a politician. You're talking basic humanity. Basic.
They don't
Not
have
about
that.
party.
There's only a few people in the world that have less humanity than lawyers. Politicians are one of them.
Right. Okay. But there's a basic understanding, Tom. You're not sitting here. You're talking about people's lives. And he's like, hey, by the way, let's celebrate. I got a great grandbaby. Like, dude, read the room. And then the idiot behind him, New Scum, is like, wow. Yeah, he didn't. Thoughts on narrowboating with Nigel? No humanity, because that's basic. That's just basic. Look, somebody's dying over there. But hey, by the way, I'm having a celebration back here. No, well, what about that? Forget that, bro. I'm going over here and having a celebration.
Well, and Dandy says, yeah, most politicians would not do this. Tom being kind of silly. I am. But at the same time, his filter's gone. He's got zero fucks to give.
Here's a picture. Here's a video from James Woods. Wow. Unbelievable.
You're looking good. Your house is not on fire, but it's, I'm here in case some embers land on it. I hope all your windows are closed.
Wow. Wow. What is this clip? Somebody sent me this and I have it. Let me play this.
If we were to work under the assumption that you're serious about making Canada 51st state of the United States, the leader of the Conservative Party in Canada said, under no circumstance will it ever be the 51st state.
Maybe he won't win, but maybe he will. I don't.
You had suggested.
Listen, I don't care what he says.
Sir Lopez, you said you were considering military force to acquire Panama and Greenland. Are you also considering military force to annex and acquire Canada?
No, economic force, because Canada and the United States, that would really be something. You get rid of that artificially drawn line, and you take a look at what that looks like. And it would also be much better for national security. Don't forget, we basically protect Canada. But here's the problem with Canada. So many friends up there. I love the Canadian people. They're great. But we're spending hundreds of billions a year to protect it. We're spending hundreds of billions a year to take care of Canada. We lose in trade deficits. We're losing massive. We don't need their cars. You know, they make 20% of our cars. We don't need that. I'd rather make them in Detroit. We don't need the cars. We don't need their lumber. We have massive fields of lumber. We don't need their lumber. We have to unrestrict them because stupid people put, restrictions on, but I can do that with an executive order. We don't need anything they have. We don't need their dairy products. We have more than they have.
What do you think about that, Tom? He keeps hitting that over and over and over the last few weeks, how he was saying, the Panama Canal. I saw it at first as trolling in order so he could be able to negotiate a better rate for all of our ships going through the canal. And now he keeps hitting back at Canada like it would be great, make Canada the 51st state. You think he's just trolling or using it as leverage?
I don't even know if he necessarily means it as a legitimate 51st state thing. I think he means that we need to be a better business partner considering. And I again, me just kind of new to learning how to speak Trump.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm assessing from what he's saying there. And I mean, he's saying we're paying for all this, stuff that we give them security. We eat a lot of, of their costs and issues just trying to help them out with, all these cars and other things and they're not wrong. I mean, we got plenty of area up here where I come from and stuff like that. There's a lot of industries that hurt. So,
yeah. Well, here is Yukio had some more information. Hold on. I just saw it come across because I like the fact. See, this is what I love about our chat. Everybody's engaged. Leverage. Yeah, it is good popcorn power. It is leverage, but I love the way that he does it, especially when he told the Panamanians, the president of Panama is like, every square meter belongs to us. He's like, yeah. And he put out that picture. Trump just put out that picture of American flags dotting the Panama Canal. But let's look at
that's
this.
been something that's been a point of contention for how long? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It seems now that you have a professor who is attacking James Woods. As Californians face the terrifying and deadly conditions as wildfires rage, committed leftists care less about the pain and suffering of others, preferring to instead cheer on a gotcha moment against conservatives. Actor James Woods, a powerful conservative voice in the woke leftist Hollywood swamp, lives in an area directly impacted by the fires. Woods has been tweeting the impact as the flames move closer, sharing the devastating impact on his neighborhood. Our deck 3 minutes ago, that was the picture I showed you. And then it goes, an emotional Woods joined CNN to discuss the tragedy. Watched, yeah, we already saw that. But Karen Piper, a professor at Missouri University, I think it's Mizzou, yeah, took a few moments out of her busy schedule to tweet a vile comment to Woods, seeming to cheer that he may lose everything. She called it karma. James
Would she
Woods,
say the same thing about Mark Hamill?
I doubt it. She says James Woods' house is burning down. It's karma calling. See, this is the kind of crap. I don't care if you're a leftist and I saw your house burn down. I'm not going to sit here and go, yeah, that's karma calling. No. These things happen. One has nothing to do with the other. I may not be able to stand their political ideology. But no, you don't wish for, you're Americans at the heart of it. You don't wish for somebody else's ill. I don't want them involved in our government. I don't want them involved in our films. I don't want them involved in our children's education or in any way that deals with politically, with our society, with our community. But I would never wish somebody ill like that. So I find that reprehensible. And I think that's something that we have to go back to, is remembering that we're all Americans here. We're all human beings. Bayunola for $5. Trump's wildfire comments are from one of his Truth Social. Cool. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Yeah, it is Phoenix on Molokai. You're right. It's not karma. It is just nature. And for years, you've had Governor Newsom, who has refused to enact controlled burns and the way they handle their reservoirs. You actually need to have water in them, separate from the drought, not dealing with the delta smelt, and also at the same time hurting farmers. So there's a lot of reasons. Just want to get some live updates here. And then I want to share something funny before I end the stream, just so we can balance it out. Hold on. Here we go. Let's look at this latest update. Come on. Okay. 4:54 p.m. KTLA. Planet Fitness opens its facilities to displaced LA residents and first responders. That is a good thing. The fitness chain is providing people free access to locker rooms, showers, hydro massage, loungers, electric outlets, and Wi-Fi. Okay, 4:52. The Pacific Palisades wildfire is the most destructive in LA history per the AP, the Associated Press. Wow, look at those firemen. 4:50. Paul Rowland, a dearly beloved friend of mine, godfather to my daughter and fellow collaborator, has lost his childhood home in Altadena. We celebrated Easter at that home with his family almost every year. Words cannot express how heartbroken I am for them. So many friends experiencing this. Here we go with Governor Newsom. California is grateful to POTUS and his administration's support fighting the LA wall. What support? He's talking about his great-great-grandchild. Maybe this video is different. Maybe he says something useful. I don't know. Like it's pudding time.
It's impossible for me to express the level of appreciation and cooperation we receive from the White House and this administration. So on behalf of all of us, Mr. President, thank you for being here, but not just being here today. Thank you for being here since the minute of this incident. With a 10-acre fire less than 24 or so hours ago. Deep gratitude. It's impossible.
Wow. Seeing him always drives me crazy. Adam Zand for 20 Australian dollars. Academics and activists are the most out of touch and radical. I've worked with them. They live in a fantasy. An academic supposedly educated says it's karma. She's full of bile and shouldn't be in charge of young minds. 100%. You should not be in charge of even walking the dog of that child. You shouldn't. It's toxic. It's noxious. It's poisonous. Because they're polluting those young minds. They want to turn them into, their own little brown shirts or red shirts. I think it's better for more Maoist revolutionaries. No, that's horrible. Thank you, Adam Zand. Always with spot on insight. Let's see what else updates they have. Oh, here we go. Mayor Karen Bass, the one who cut the $17.5 million from the firefighters. The impact of these fires and winds are devastating. I just got off the phone with POTUS. You must be lucky. And discussed an urgent path forward towards recovery for thousands of families impacted. Thank you to the California governor and Senator Alex Padilla for your continued support for our city. I guess they're treating it, Tom, like it's just a PR stunt for them. It's like campaigning.
Yeah, it usually is.
Yeah, it sickens me. You're supposed to be helping people. That's it. There's no sound. Okay. They didn't want us to hear that. 4:36 p.m. Palisades fire, now over 15,000 acres. Wow. 4:01 p.m. Compelling eyewitness videos of the LA wildfires and survivors reacting to their neighborhood's destruction. Let's see this.
This situation is horrific. It is still a very dynamic situation. We have homes, a mansion behind my photographer, John, on fire, about to go up in flames, and she has chickens and ducks that she hasn't been able to get out. She's been trying to wave down firefighters, but we know they are stretched so thin. I have not seen a fire truck. Maybe I see two down the street, but they've been trying to put out those fires. They passed by, and she is just crying here because she doesn't know what's going to happen to her pet.
Wow. This was pretty much a gut shot to see that a man who evacuated from his home on Tuesday night during the Los Angeles wildfires broke down in tears when he returned to his neighborhood on Wednesday and saw the homes of his neighborhood completely destroyed. Unbelievable. Flight passenger captures Palisades fires tearing across Los Angeles. Wow. Amazing. Yeah, Benjamin. I used to have State Farm years ago. Glad I don't have them anymore. I hope that everybody cancels their State Farm and goes with somebody else, puts them out of business. You do not cancel people like that. No way. Horrible what they've done. Now, before we wrap up, I want to share with you something, a little funnier. Have you taken a look at any of the nominees for any of the films and actors lately? For this new season? What was it? SAG had put them out. I know that they've all postponed everything. Like SAG has postponed it. Wasn't the Golden Globes? Who postponed it?
Well, the Golden Globes just happened.
Yeah, but which is one afterwards? They just said they were
the Oscars, or just all like the...
Hold on, let me find it. I just had the article up here. Just postponed a few things. Here we go. Oh, Amazon, Paramount cancel movie premiere. SAG cancels award noms amid Los Angeles fires. We got that one. Fire breaks. Wow. Consume West Hollywood. Melania Trump landed a $40 million Amazon documentary deal. Have you heard of that one?
Who's that?
Melania Trump got a $40 million.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah.
Okay, and of course, in the middle of a fire, what do you expect to have? You just knew.
Firefighters?
Yeah, no. Somebody decides to put out a piece. Hold on. Here we go. John Cryer. You remember Cryer?
Yeah.
I guess he thought now was a good time.
Oh, I saw. He was on Bill Maher's little podcast thing. Yeah.
You're asking too much often to rewrite like the idea that when someone is born, there is a default setting for humans, male and female. Not everyone is. Now, a real conservative would say, no, everyone is. I would never say that.
But
I think what a liberal says
there are
is, yes,
chromosomal
there's a
spectrums.
default.
There's
There's a default setting,
hermaphroditism.
but then there's a whole other
Yeah.
other section, and that's great, and we should protect those people. But don't pretend there isn't also a default setting. And you can't rewrite the world so that every baby is just a jump ball. Oh, it could be anything. No, if it's got a dick, it's probably a boy. And if it's
Probably.
not, we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that in a compassionate way.
Well, yeah,
But we'll also be apprised of the idea that children don't know shit about anything. Yes, sometimes it is obvious, and we should address it that way. But I mean, kids, Christ Almighty! I mean, the idea that I would, as a child, would have had to have dealt with something like this.
Well, again, the
Kids don't know anything. That's the reality. That's why when they're
They know what you tell them. And that's why we, like when we sit here and we go, is there a percentage of adults that feel this way, that have body dysphoria, that could probably go through all the testing and come out the other end, and the doctor go, yeah, they probably would feel healthier, or they'd have a healthier life if they lived it this way, whatever. That percentage is so small compared to the amount of kids that we have now in schools, and in, especially when it comes down to like celebrity kids, where you have like all their kids are going trans. It's like that's an environmental thing. That's not a natural thing at all.
No, I mean, they're kids. Let's think of how many things that we do not allow kids to do. Can a kid rent a hotel room? No. Can I buy
God, yeah, like tattoos, piercings, all this shit. Yeah,
smoking, cars. Hell, they can't go get a hunting or fishing license without a parent unless they hit a certain. I think it's 9 in Texas.
Yeah, let's not forget that a lot of the people that are pushing for this are the same people who said you shouldn't be smoking in public, not just in places.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
Talking about smoking, you heard what Biden is trying to do as he's walking out the door, right? They're either trying to ban menthol cigarettes or all cigarettes. I mean, you've seen.
For Christ's sake.
Yeah, because they've been talking about it for 3 years. Kalinista, Sandra. Thank you, Sandra Hammerslag.
Good fucking luck with that. They've already pushed it so far.
The reason is they were going to do it before the 2024 election cycle, but the DNC had come out and said, that's going to turn off a certain part of the Democrat electorate. So they're like, okay, we're going to postpone it till afterwards when Kamala wins. Supposedly Cackles, they thought was actually going to win. So now it's the same way he did that executive
it's like
order.
they promised to finally legalize fucking weed if they won this time out. It's like, y'all had 4 goddamn years.
Right.
What anyway, yeah.
I want to share this real quick. A good member of the chat in our Slayer Nation community has thoughts on narrowboating with Nigel. He's just 20 subscribers away. See, I'm subscribed to him. 20 subscribers away from hitting 1,000. If you can, go check out his channel. I recommend it. See if you like it. And then go hit subscribe. Let's help him cross the threshold. He just needs 20 people. Just 20. He's a good man. You know who I really like? Chris Pratt. I like not only his work, but I like his ethos. Just the character that he seems, whether it's real, I hope it is, he seems to be a salt of the earth guy. This is what I believe. This is what I love. This is what I do. Here's who I am. He came out and he was wishing blessings for everybody, sending out prayers. I mean, when was the last time you actually saw that in Hollywood from an actor who wasn't from an older generation?
That one chick in that one story before, she'll probably come out and say, well, it's karma.
Here's what he says. Chris Pratt, please send prayers and strength tonight to everyone in Los Angeles affected by these devastating fires. Los Angeles is in a state of emergency and over 30,000 have been ordered to evacuate. Thank you to the brave firefighters and first responders who are working tirelessly. Hold on, let me grab the rest of this. I thought it was all there. Chris, there we go. I want to read the whole thing. Thank you to the brave firefighters and first responders who are working tirelessly to protect lives, homes, and wildlife as they battle fast-moving wildfire fueled by fierce winds. You are true heroes, and we are endlessly grateful for your sacrifice and courage. Let's all come together to support one another during this tough time. I just want to take a look at the comments. Let's see if we have any of those, Missouri University. It's all karma, baby. Cyclops says, in Altadena, 200 plus acres, evacuations underway, more info to follow. Okay. Just praying you and your family are safe, bro. Blessing in Jesus. For sure, prayers for everyone in the line of fire. Please keep the Los Angeles Fire Department and those affected by the fires in your prayers, sending prayers to all. See, again, you believe something, you stand up for something good, for something right. People join with you. They follow. It's the difference between vile anger and hatred that people spew poison. Yeah, they have a few people who join them, these tag-along hangers-on. People who feel weird about their own lives. They feel insecure, so they need someone to look to, even though they're trying to divide people. But when you have somebody who sends out a positive message, it's something simple, human, people gravitate to that. I think that's a very positive thing. And I'm glad it happens a little bit more and more, especially in Hollywood, since our culture is always consumed by a certain manner through storytelling, and we grow. It's that bridge, how we communicate with one another. I like him. Yeah, this is Nature Ninja Master. It's not karma, but that's not what the professor had said. She had told James Woods, basically like, ha, what's happening to you? That's all karma. Of course it's nature. Now, Tom, have you seen this video? Hold on. I think you're going to like it. It was some embarrassing moments from some actors and celebrities, because I thought we'd alleviate things for a moment. Thoughts on airboating with Nigel? Did you hit it? Let us know if you actually hit it, the 1K. That would be great. Here's some embarrassing moments I thought you'd find funny.
Oh, boy.
You turned.
Oh, I remember this.
And how was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited. Last time I was on the show, last year, you gave me a bunch of about not inviting you, but I didn't even know you wanted to be invited.
Well, who doesn't want to be invited to a party?
Well, I didn't even know you liked me.
Of course I like you. You knew I liked you. You've been on the show many times, and don't I show like?
Yeah. But I did invite you and you didn't come. So
this time you invited me?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How do you know? I don't think so.
Ask everybody.
Damn. And then where's this one? Oh, here's one. Lady Gaga.
That rumor that you had a male appendage, that you were a hermaphrodite, and you joked about it on the stage last night.
Maybe I do.
But it's interesting.
Would it be so terrible?
But it's interesting. A lot of artists would immediately put out some sort of a statement saying this is absolutely not true. You have fun with it.
Why the hell am I going to waste my time and give a press release about whether or not I have a penis? My fans don't care, and neither do I.
Oy vey. And then this is Bjork. Have you seen this one? Where she flipped out? Oh, yeah. I hadn't seen it before.
The pop star to lose that Icelandic cool.
Yeah, this is from a long time ago.
Well, what was the point? She said
she
welcome
had just had her
Bangkok.
baby, and like I guess what it was she was all pissed off because she had just said something in the press about she didn't want the press taking pictures of her baby or something like that, and
The woman said it. Welcome to Bangkok.
yeah, it had nothing to do with what she said. I think it had more to do with them she just lost it at that moment in time. But Bjork's fucking weird.
Yeah, and then this one.
I hear your heart.
She's on a public train in Japan and just starts singing.
I beat to the beat of the drums. Oh, what a shame that you came here with someone while you're here in my arms. Let's make the most of the night.
Obviously, they were shooting.
Why does she
video, but
sound like she's got auto tune even when she's supposedly singing live?
I have no idea.
Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
But this one was also interesting. It says Lord shushing her crowd at every concert.
I am my mother's child. I love you till my breathing stops. It's the rider in the dark. I'm begging to take you kiss the rider in the dark. Kiss the rider in the dark. I bet you to take you.
She definitely didn't have autotune there.
No, but she doesn't like it when people sing over her. I mean, I get it to a point, but
isn't that what
you're
people
live in
join
concert, and that's what people want to do?
They join
I move two
in.
sides on that. See, I get it. You're getting in the moment, but this has been like a rising thing, and this also reminds me of people who were singing during Wicked.
Oh,
and it's like, I go to a concert to hear the singer sing, not a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
Which I get it. During their big songs, the whole crowd gets going, and sometimes it gets pumped up once or twice during a show. That's cool. But so I kind of see it from her point of view, but at the same time, I think she needs to understand that you're in a live venue. This is what they're going to do. Right. But so I kind of see it from both angles at this point. Because I'll tell you what, I haven't been to many concerts in my life, but the one time I did go, the thing that pissed me off when this one I went to was I went to see John Mellencamp live.
Okay.
And my favorite fucking song, he pulls some asshole up from the crowd to sing so he can go smoke a fucking cigarette. And I'm like, I came here to hear John Mellencamp sing Hurt So Good, not some Joe Blow nobody from fucking, Kenosha sing it.
I got you, but it's like, there's some
fucking
concerts,
karaoke bar.
You get moved. You know what I'm saying? You're in a
No,
concert,
I get it.
you
I totally get it.
I will tell you, you know what I love? You remember Rocky Horror Picture Show? Everybody there, you start singing, you start throwing stuff, you start repeating lines.
The difference is most people who go to that have seen the movie a million times. That I understand. The Wicked thing, on the other hand, that would drive me nuts. It's like, I get it, these songs, but a good portion of this audience has never seen this, and we didn't come here to hear you sing.
Right.
We came here to hear the professionals sing. But again, I'm not going to the movie, but I ran into the same thing when the special editions for Empire Strikes Back and Star Wars and all them came out. Because I remember going to see the movie and some idiots were like fucking mimicking all the lines in front of me in the movie. And I'm like, dude, seriously, I came here to see the movie on the big screen. If I wanted to hear some nerdy asshole fucking do all the lines, I'd fucking go home and watch it with myself. Like, it's like...
I got you. But
I get it. I'm a both ends on it.
There are two places left that are screening Rocky Horror Picture Show because I've been wanting to go see them again. And I think one is in Minnesota and one is in California. That they actually have the midnight showings where you can, sing along, do the lines, throw bread.
Well, I think it was the Roxy, and doesn't LA still play it, or?
Yeah, someplace in LA. And one place in Minnesota plays it all year round.
Yeah. Well, Disney owns it now. That's part of the problem, but yeah.
Well, this is my favorite one of the, before we go, it is of Seinfeld shutting down Keisha, the one who was singing on the train in Japan. I think it's hilarious.
Oh, is that who did that,
because
Kesha?
It's hard to just sleep
Kesha.
when you're tired because people are tired most of the time.
Gosh, I love you so much.
Oh, thanks.
Can I give you a hug?
No, thanks.
Please?
No, thanks.
A little one.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Oh.
Oh, I remember this. Who was that?
That was a nice
I don't know who
I don't know who that was.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wish you the best.
Ketchup? What's ketchup? I thought that was a condiment.
I miss Seinfeld, I have to tell you.
Actually, it's funny. I was just watching it before I
Oh,
came
really?
out.
I miss Seinfeld.
It was the episode where George turns down the deal for the show. He ends up thinking it's a negotiation ploy and ends up getting basically half of what they originally were offered. Just begging to get the show back for Jerry. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Like, yeah, I just happened to watch that episode.
Soup Nazi. No soup for you. Excuse me.
It's also the one where Kramer keeps setting shit on fire because he gets the box of Cuban cigars from George.
Yeah, which is the one where they all go crazy for, is it Kramer who introduces them to the yogurt that has no calories, but they keep gaining weight?
That's the yogurt one. I haven't got that far yet. I think that's a little bit farther down the line here yet, but yeah. I've been rewatching it from the start, so I'm in like the third season now.
I wish they'd bring something like that back. Now that I would watch again. I've never checked out, what's the one with the writer from the show that's his good friend? that did that HBO.
Oh, the one that George is based on.
Well, that looks like Paul
Larry
Shadow.
David. Larry David.
I've never seen that. I thought maybe you should check that out. And then here's the last clip before we wrap up. Remember that girl who slept with 100 men?
Unfortunately, I know of her. Yeah.
In 24 hours.
Didn't she go with 1,000 now and 300 in between there or something like that?
I don't know, but you can tell that hoo-hoo is broken forever. More than that. I mean, come on. Oof. It's not that. It's she approached somebody. I'm not going to spoil it.
Wait a minute. You get a sexually transmitted disease from sex?
Yeah. With 100 people? Oh, yeah. Listen to this. I think it was stunning. There are real men left in the world and people who actually believe in something.
I just wondered, I can't see it on the menu, but where do I get the Five Guys from? The Five Guys. I didn't know if there was like a special room where you can take me out back.
No, I don't think that's happening.
What about after your shift? I mean, I'd want to give you, a good rating.
I'm a Christian man and I'm with myself, man.
I'm asking for what's on the menu, that's all.
Genuinely, I feel like I'm doing that now. I can hand you a menu if you want.
Yeah, I'd be like, this is a fucking prank.
Yeah, except she's tried it before. It's just like that girl who was going around. I don't know if you call her a girl. I've got like to say something else. She was going around and posting these clips on TikTok and Instagram of where she'd go to a restaurant, she'd go to a movie theater, she'd go to a bar, and she'd leave a tip of her panties. Have you seen that? Yes, I know. It's disgusting. She'd pull them off and leave them as a tip. The waiter's like, huh? Yeah, it's horrible. The problem is
no, I can't say I've actually seen that one.
Yeah, it's online. Again, people send me stuff. And I was like, well, thanks. They're like, will you share that? I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to share that. But they're like, well, look, George, the world is falling apart. Why is this woman sitting here handing out her panties? And then she went to a playground and dropped them on a play set. I'm like, come on.
I was going to say, I've seen the videos where people are just dropping them in random places.
No.
But
Yeah. If you typed it up, she's at a cafe is one of them. It's just horrible. It's horrible. It's like, there are lines to everything, people, boundaries. Don't cross them. Do what you want with yourself at home. When you're out in the world, social contract. Check your shit. Anyway, thank you so much, Tom, for coming. This has been fun. It was great to get back in the saddle, man. I always love streaming with you. Hopefully, we're gonna have
already 5 o'clock. Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great show this Sunday, and because I can feel my voice is starting to go again. But it is a mental illness, Benjamin. Always great to see everybody here. Benjamin Jansen, Ninja Master, Blitzen, bless you, Bob the Lobster, 21 Palika, Olaf, of course, Eric K. Two incredible people, two incredible mods. And I saw my brother Sindek is there. Hello, Sindek. And then Phoenix Omolokai. Thank you. You know how it is. It's been wonderful to see y'all again. And sending out a prayer for those at the fire in Los Angeles. Let's hope it doesn't spread and they can tamp that down. But there are consequences for the people who allowed it to happen, meaning not the fire. They didn't prepare for it. They cut the funding of the fire department. And they also didn't do controlled burns. That mayor of Los Angeles needs to be recalled now. And then we can take it from there. All righty. To win every battle and stay true to yourself, all you have to remember is we never bow down. We never bend the knee. Always forward, everybody.